The judge, firm and unyielding, asserted his temptation to reject the sentence agreement. He suggested taking the case to trial, warning that a felony murder conviction would result in life imprisonment without parole. The scene was tense, a young life hanging in the balance. At 16, the accused knew the gravity of his actions, pounding his fist on a pillow with a child's head beneath it. The defense pleaded that it wasn't intentional, that the death of Austin was accidental.
I'm very tempted to just say, I'm not going to accept this sentence agreement. We'll go to trial, and if you're convicted of felony murder, you'll go to prison for the rest of your life. That means you'll die there. That's what I'm tempted to do.
Before going into detail, please subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon so you won't miss any future videos we upload. Let's get started with Philip Chisum, a 14-year-old, epitomized pure evil, according to the prosecution. He faced charges for the brutal murder of his math teacher, Colleen Ritzer, in October 2013. Colleen, known for her dedication, had asked Chisum to stay after school for extra lessons, unaware of the nightmare that would ensue. Prepared with a knife, change of clothes, and gloves, Chisum followed her into a restroom, taking her life in a savage attack. He then robbed, assaulted, and abused her, attempting to cover his tracks by disposing of her body in a garbage bin and using her credit card to buy a movie ticket. His arrest the next morning revealed him with blood still on his hands. In court, Chisum's behavior was cold and unrepentant, even as the victim's father and brother made emotional pleas.
Killer knew exactly what he was doing and has never shown remorse.
Put this animal behind bars for the maximum possible sentence. Do not give this coward the opportunity to shatter another family's lives.
The judge, unmoved by claims of mental instability,
Court will impose the mandatory life sentence for the murder of Colleen Ritzer and set a parole eligibility date of 25 years, the highest level our law allows.
imposed the maximum sentence allowed by law. Chisum's demeanor starkly contrasted with Brandon Spencer, a 19-year-old who opened fire at a crowded Halloween party at the University of Southern California, injuring 4.
That if you are so intent on killing someone, that you're willing to shoot them, and at the same time open fire into a crowd.
Despite maintaining his innocence, Spencer's gang affiliation and the prosecution's narrative led to a 40-year-to-life sentence.
I'm sorry for what happened to your honor, but you life in prison.
His reaction in court was one of disbelief and frustration. Conrad Schaefer, at 15, was involved in a series of random shootings with friends, resulting in the deaths of David Guerrero and Eric Rupnerine. Schaefer, who persuaded his father to buy a semi-automatic rifle, terrorized the community for 2 weeks. During his trial, he apologized to the victims' families.
15 at a time, I'm really sorry for the things I've done. And I know I did wrong, and I know my apology don't mean nothing to you. And I know it ain't gonna change how you feel about me.
I request my grandson, he was my helper to me and my wife. At this time, my family and I had no intention to forgive the guilty because of such a heinous and brutal crime that was done to my grandson, Eric Rupnerine.
But his remorse did little to sway the judge, who sentenced him to 2 consecutive life terms. Similarly, Marty Fuller, also 15, faced charges for murdering his ex-girlfriend in her bedroom.
I stopped in my doorway and I looked at him and I said, "Oh my God, Mark, please." I said, "Please, you don't have to do this." And he looked at me and he said, "Yes, I do."
Despite showing some emotion during his sentencing, Fuller maintained his innocence, insisting through his attorney's statement that he was not the person the media portrayed him to be.
Mr. Fuller's prepared a statement that he asked that I read on his behalf. Martise writes, "Wholeheartedly, I wanted to write this giving my sincerest apologies to this family I once shared time and love with. Truthfully, I am sorry about the pain you've all suffered through this, but more importantly, the loss of my ex-girlfriend Kaylee that I loved too. So I am sorry. Despite the hatred that is against me, I still am sorry. But I have to continue to stand innocent because I am. And I know that I've barely showed emotion throughout my time, but in all honesty, it is because it's hard to have tears left to cry knowing my mom lost a son one of her children too. But I am sorry, and I hope you all can eventually see in your hearts and vision that I am not the person the media has made me out to be.
The judge sentenced him to life without the possibility of parole, emphasizing the seriousness of his crimes.
You are a very dangerous and a damaged human being. So in the interest of protecting the public, acknowledging the seriousness of these acts, the court orders that on count 1, you are sentenced to life in prison without eligibility for extended supervision.
Jennifer Mee, once known as the Hiccup Girl, transitioned from a quirky media sensation to a convicted murderer. She and her accomplices lured a man into a robbery that ended in his death. During her trial, a recorded call to her mother revealed her detached and almost casual admission of guilt.
Hello? Hi, Mama. Hello, Jennifer. What's going on? I'm in jail. Why are you in jail? Murder in the first degree. Who'd you kill? I didn't kill nobody. It all went wrong on me. Who are you trying to kill, Jennifer? Nobody. It wasn't supposed to happen like that.
Mee was sentenced to life without parole, a stark end to her once publicized life. Alyssa Bustamante, another 15-year-old, committed a heinous crime by luring her 9-year-old neighbor into the woods, strangling, stabbing, and slitting her throat before burying her.
Was her throat cut? And Alyssa said yes. And that's when the grandmother broke down and began crying.
Despite her apology in court, the judge handed down a life sentence with the possibility of parole after 35 years. Nicholas Cruz, responsible for the deadliest high school shooting in U.S. history, killed 17 people and wounded 17 others at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. His lack of remorse and disturbing courtroom behavior, including laughter, angered the victims' families.
When these people are upset about specific things that have gone on from that table, like shooting the middle finger up at this court and laughing and joking, Miss McNeil, be quiet. When these people have sat in this courtroom and watched this behavior from that table and they want to say that they're not happy about it, what is the problem?
Cruz received multiple life sentences without parole, his apology dismissed as insincere.
I am very sorry for what I did, and I have to live with it every day. And that if I were to get a second chance, I will do everything in my power to try to help others. And I am doing this for you, and I do not care if you do not believe me. And I love you, and I know you don't believe me, but I have to live with this every day. And it brings me nightmares, and I can't live with myself sometimes, but I try to push through because I know that's what you guys would want me to do. I hate drugs, and I believe this country would do better if everyone would stop smoking marijuana and doing all these drugs and causing racism and violence out in the streets. I'm sorry, and I can't even watch TV anymore.
Antonio Barbo and Nathan Pop, both teenagers, brutally murdered Barbo's great-grandmother for money.
I just want to say that I'm truly sorry for everything that happened. I truly regret every single thing that happened that day. Every single day that went by, I wish I could go back.
I tried to scare her to get money and then use force if needed.
Okay. And when you say use force if needed, was there a discussion about what type of force you might use?
An attack, I guess to kill.
Despite their remorseful courtroom statements, they were sentenced to life imprisonment. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, subscribe to our channel, Courtroom Reality TV, and hit the notification bell to stay notified of the latest videos we upload. Thank you for watching.